Squared, the podcast all about corporate innovation and entrepreneurship. My name is OqEVCy, and each week I'll bring you authors, corporate innovation managers, entrepreneurs, and above all else, thought leaders on the topics of innovation, entrepreneurship, and self-improvement. Future Squared brings you a double dose of innovation inspiration every week to help you successfully navigate your innovation journey. Every Monday, I'll bring you a world-class thought leader such as Steve Blank, Alex Osterwalder, Neil Patel, Rand Fishkin, or Whitney Johnson, just to name a few. While every Friday, I'll bring you some quick, digestible insights myself to help end your week on a high before you head off for the weekend. Future Squared is proudly brought to you by Collective Campus, an innovation hub, school, and consultancy that works with large organizations to help them adopt the mindset, methodologies, and tools required to explore new business models and disruptive innovation in an era of rapid change. If your organization needs support coming up with ideas, testing and turning those ideas into reality, incubating teams, driving cultural change, or connecting and partnering with startups, then visit Collective Campus online at www.collectivecamp.us. And without further ado, here's today's podcast. Welcome to a very special Christmas edition of Future Squared, and a happy holidays to you all. A couple of weeks ago, on an episode of Fast Fix Friday called Why I Do What I Do, I spoke of a touching email I had received from one Alex Henderson, one of the alums of Lemonade Stand, a 2-day kids entrepreneurship program that we run to inspire the next generation of young entrepreneurs. The budding young startup founder wrote to let me in on how the program had opened his eyes to the possibilities and inspired him to start a business, and that he had gone one step further than just being inspired and had already launched. As it is now the school holiday season here in Melbourne, Australia, I couldn't help but reach out and invite Alex to appear on Future Squared to not only inspire other parents and their kids, but basically anybody out there who has made excuses in both business and in life. Age, lack of money and resources, no experience, no networks. These all come with very low barriers that can be overcome with, as Alex tells us, nothing more than an internet connection, a laptop, and the right attitude. So here we go. I bring you 11-year-old entrepreneur and founder of Water Cooled SUP, Alex Henderson. Welcome to the show, Alex.
Thank you.
Why don't we start by telling the audience, firstly, how old you are?
I'm 11.
11? Awesome. And whereabouts do you go to school?
Oakley South Primary School in Oakley, Melbourne.
You were one of the first students to come through the Lemonade Stand program earlier this year. I think it was back in April. What did you learn coming through the Lemonade Stand program?
Well, I just really found it inspiring how much I learned, and some things I didn't expect to even learn while I was here, like learning about 3D printing and that sort of thing. And some things were just really helpful and interesting in learning about how to make sure your product is valid and what you should do before you start a business, and all that sort of thing was just really inspiring. I really loved doing it. It was one of my favourite things I've ever done.
It's awesome to hear. And I mean, you mentioned that validating your business idea. What did you learn about how you can do that?
Well, I learned how you've got to make sure that people want to buy what you're actually selling before you start selling things, and you shouldn't go all out spending money before you actually check that it's a valid product idea, because the business could easily fail. That's why most startups fail, because no one checks to make sure what they're doing is actually a valid idea.
Yeah, exactly right. And I think that's something we taught during Lemonade Stand, that 96% of startups fail because they just build the first thing that comes to their mind. And speaking of things coming to their mind, since you completed the Lemonade Stand program, you've come up with an idea that you've launched. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, me and my dad have been paddleboarding for insertion for years, and I could always love doing it. And after I did the Lemonade Stand course, it sort of inspired me, and I thought, what can I do? And I decided that I would start an online business selling inflatable paddleboards.
Mm-hmm. Excellent, love it. I actually tried stand-up paddleboarding for the first time back in January, so about a year ago. It was a lot of fun. Definitely tested my core strength and balance. I didn't expect it to be that hard, so I face pumped into the water a few times. That was fun. So, given what you learned about validating your idea, and you came up with this idea based on your passion for paddleboarding, how have you gone about,
testing whether people actually want to buy paddleboards via your website?
Well, me and my dad have been doing this for years, as I said before, and often we'll be talking to someone at the beach or out, and I'll go, oh, it sounds like such a great idea, I'd love to get one, that's so amazing. And we have a bunch of friends down where we go camping every summer and we surf there, and all of them, they all want to try the board that we owned 2 boards before we started this, they always want to try them, and we thought, well, it seems like a great idea, and it's really starting to take off, and you'll notice that it's like surfing, you can find a lot of websites and magazines and stuff dedicated to that sort of thing. So I thought it would be a great idea.
Yeah. I guess the market's already there.
Yeah.
Because we see people stand up paddling all the time. It's just about can you find them online? Can you get them to come to your website and so on?
Yes.
So just on paddling, I mean, do you have any favourite sites or favourite spots that you go to paddle or?
I love going down to Torquay at Cozy Corner in Torquay. It's one of my favourite spots. I go there every summer.
Yep.
And recently I just came down to Macrae and Black Rock, and that area is really nice as well. I like the beaches down there.
Awesome, love it. I have to check those spots out. So how long ago did you launch the product? Obviously it's called Stand Up, sorry, watercourtsub.com.au. So that's watercourtsup.com.au. How long ago did you launch the business?
I started building the website about 2 to 3 months ago, and I actually launched about 3 weeks to a month ago, I think.
Awesome. Would that make us one of your first customers then?
Yes.
Fantastic. What did you use to build the website?
I used Shopify, and at first I wasn't sure because it was a very closed, it wasn't openly like with other website builders, you can really edit and move things around, but it was more closed. And then I realised that it actually provides an almost instant build, a much better website, and you don't have to know a lot to be able to use it. So I've come to like it.
Yeah, and that's one of the key things we teach during Lemonade Stand is that the tools are there, and it's very easy for anyone, doesn't matter how old they are or how much money they have, to build a website and start selling something to the whole world, which is really, really exciting. So in terms of early traction, you've been going for 3 to 4 weeks, and I understand you've already got some sales.
I think we've made 10, 15 sales.
Wow.
Or so.
Wow, that's really good. So how are you going about getting people to your website?
Well, one of the big drivers of traffic we're currently using is Google AdWords. That's been working quite well for us. So we're getting about 30 people per day to the website, and we've been getting a lot of phone calls and emails and inquiries asking about paddleboards and that sort of thing. So, and we're getting a lot of likes on Facebook and that sort of thing. So, yeah, we're getting a lot more traction.
Loving it. So with AdWords, do you know what your average sort of cost per click is?
I'm not sure what the cost per click is, but I know we roughly spend $10 to $15 a day currently.
Okay, cool. So about 50 cents a click, and then you're getting about 30 people come through a day. How often do you get, say, someone leave an email address or pick up the phone?
We've had about 3 phone calls in the last week and 4 sales or so.
Okay, that's really good. So say you're getting about 70 to 100 people come through a week, 4 sales, 100 times 50 cents, $50 per sale. That's actually a pretty good return on investment there with your ads. You've done really well managing that funnel. Have you tried any other platforms? I know you said Google AdWords.
I tried advertising on Facebook as well and Instagram, and they were okay, but not as good as Google, obviously, because it's one of the much bigger companies. But I really like the way Google did things, and we're on the top page now in the first when people search stuff and inflatable stuff and that sort of thing. It's starting to show up in the first few searches.
That's fantastic. So your search engine optimization is killing it?
Yeah.
And I like the fact that you've experimented with multiple marketing channels and not just one, which is a trap that a lot of entrepreneurs fall into, saying, I'm just going to try this and throw more money at it, but hey, try Facebook, try Instagram, try different...
We also have a YouTube channel, and I like to say that one of our point of difference from other companies selling paddleboards is that I and my dad have made reviews on every single board that we sell and gone out and tested them all and made reviews on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, I have seen the YouTube channel. It seems like quite a comprehensive sort of effort. And I know you mentioned this was one of the more challenging things, putting together these reviews.
Yeah, it was. It's often take an hour or an hour and a half to making a video because of how long it takes to. You're often unhappy with the narration. You've got to redo it.
Yeah. So who does the narration?
I've done one or two, but Dad does most of them.
Yeah. Fantastic. Love it. Love it. So your business model at the moment. Do you just take a clipping on the boards? How does it work in terms of how you make money?
Well, we buy them. Currently, we're only selling one brand, Aquamarina, and they're a much smaller brand because the name brands aren't going to sell for us. They like to keep it's to much bigger sellers. Mm-hmm. But they make really good quality boards. I know I've tested them, and we make a good amount of money from selling them. We're actually really good priced. If you check our pricing against other websites, you'll find that we're well priced compared to other websites.
Yep.
And so I think we make quite a bit of money as well. So it's quite a good business model, I think.
Yep. So you guys, I suppose your point of differentiation then is the pricing, cheaper.
And we've tested, and I think we provide quite helpful advice as well to our customers.
Yeah, and going to the extent of reviewing all of your boards, actually getting out there, trying them out, putting together video reviews, which I think is definitely going above and beyond. So Aquamarina, do you hold the stock on hand, or how does it work?
So what we do is they have agents, and I'm my dad's good friends with one of their agents, and they have a warehouse in Queensland, in Tweed Heads, and when we get an order, we just send it through, and then they ship directly out of their warehouse to the customer, and then we just pay them at the end of the month for the amount of boards that we've ordered.
Yeah, so you're essentially, that's called drop shipping.
Yeah, drop shipping out of their warehouse,
Yeah, and that's the smartest thing to do, because back in the day what people would do when they were starting out was have a lot of stock on hand.
And if we don't sell, then we've got a bunch of boards that we don't need. In the future, I'm sure we'll get some stock, but right now it's much easier to just drop ship out of their warehouse.
That makes sense. That's great. Inventory management, you're not spending money on boards that you haven't sold yet and then affecting your cash flow. That's a very smart way to approach it. So we've talked about supply chain, we've talked about marketing. I mean, in particular, I suppose when we're talking about who you're targeting, is it a particular age group or demographic?
Well, we're targeting, we're not selling to anyone outside of Australia right now because it costs too much to ship. But we're targeting generally the lower to middle-aged age group. We have a few boards for kids, but most of them, and anyone can have it, it's a great sport. But usually people like 12 to like 30, 40, that sort of age group. We find that most of our sellers come from that age group, men and women.
So I know you've received a bit of support from your parents, doing the reviews, the narration. How else have your parents been helpful?
Well, of course, I'm not rich, so my dad gave me a bit of money to pay for
bit of investment?
A bit of investment, Google AdWords and Shopify and that sort of thing. So that really helped.
Yeah. And how much money would you say was needed just to get going?
To get going, well, we have monthly costs and yearly costs that we have to pay for continuously, like the website provider and the website domain provider and that sort of thing. And then we had to register the business name and that sort of thing, and we had to pay for accounting and all that. That's startup costs. So I think it costs like $500 to $1,000 to start up, and I'd say we've already made that money, or we're close to making that money anyway. So we're doing really well in that department.
You've almost broken even within 4 weeks of launch, which is something most entrepreneurs can't say about their own businesses. So that's credit to you, Alex. In terms of some of the other challenges you've had, so one was putting together the reviews. What have some of the other key challenges been?
Well, I found at some points building a website really frustrating. Just the fact that there were features that I needed, like I wanted to create packages, and the way I wanted to do it, I just wasn't available, or I couldn't figure out a way to. I think there might be a way to do it now that I've looked at it a bit more. But at that point, I just couldn't figure out a way to do it. I had to do it a different way that wasn't as good. So there were challenges in building the website, and also I think it took like every single time we wanted to register a business bank account, and every single time we tried to do that, there was some problem. We didn't have enough paperwork, or something wasn't right. So it took like a month when it should have taken a week to get that done. So there were a lot of different things that we struggled with, but yeah, it all worked out.
Yeah, fantastic. And that is one of those things where you can't control people outside of your network. You can do the best to control what you can control. So you'll come to learn that very well over time, I'm sure. And in terms of, I suppose, the Lemonade Stand program itself, before coming into the program, is this something you would have seen yourself doing at the age of 11?
Well, besides creating an odd jobs business, I call it, with my best friend, and I never did anything with. I've always inspired me the idea of getting money by myself and not working for somebody else. But I've never really considered doing anything with it. I always thought, I can't do anything until I'm 18 years old. There's no way. It just wouldn't happen. And when I did the Lemonade Stand course, it opened my eyes to the possibilities and the tools that were available to my age group, and that's what inspired me to start.
Fantastic. Love hearing that type of stuff. And yeah, as I was saying, it doesn't matter how old you are, you can get started today at the age of 11, as you've shown. Do you have advice for other kids your age that are perhaps thinking about starting their own business?
Well, just have a look. I mean, it depends what you want to sell. There are challenges you face, but I'm sure you can do it. And especially considering selling online, it's so easy thanks to the internet nowadays, and you just need a laptop and internet connection and a little bit of money, and you've got it.
Away you go.
Yeah.
So where to from here? I mean, where do you see Water Cooled Sub or Water Cooled SUP being, say, 12 months from now?
12 months from now, I'd say we're growing steadily, and I have full confidence that we'll be growing quite a bit by that time, and I really can see that the company will grow quite a bit, and I'm looking forward to all the journeys in the future.
Yeah, awesome. And what about yourself? Do you see yourself taking on this entrepreneurial path going forward?
Well, I'm still going to. I've always dreamed of studying medicine, being a doctor, and that sort of thing. And I still definitely take on that. And I can definitely see myself running one or more businesses in the background, and I can see them growing quite a bit as well. So I look forward to all that.
Awesome. And medicine is one of those fields where there is a lot of change going on, and medtech is such a big field where there's no reason why you can't marry being a doctor and being an entrepreneur into the one. And actually go out there and create new...
Yeah, that's something that I've always considered as well.
Love it. So where can people find out more about your business, your YouTube channel?
Well, if you go to watercooledsup.com.au, you can find our YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and see all the boards and everything we've done on there as well.
Awesome. Look, Alex, you've been an amazing guest. I think you've been an inspiring guest, not just for other kids out there, but also for adults out there who are just full of excuses. I'm not ready, it's not the right time, I haven't got the resources I need to get started. They're just excuses. I think you've proved that, so well done. Thank you so much, Alex. Hope you have an amazing Christmas. Good luck with Water Cooled SUP in 2017.
Thank you very much.
And there we have it, a very special episode number 100 in the bag before 2016 closed out, as promised. And how good was that? At this point, there's not much more I can say that will make this episode any better. So just head to watercooledsup.com.au to check out Alex's site. If it's summer in your part of the world, what better way to spend it than at the beach, perhaps paddling away on one of Alex's boards. If you like this episode, please share it with all of your friends and colleagues. And with that, I'd just like to say thank you for listening to Future Squared in 2016. It's been an absolutely massive year for the team on a number of fronts, and we simply could not have achieved what we have without you, our loyal listeners. I hope that this show has inspired you to new heights in both your personal and professional life, and look forward to bringing you much more inspo in 2017 as we set out to publish another 100 episodes before the year closes out. Until next time, enjoy your New Year's Eve shenanigans, whatever it is you get up to. I'm off to spend some time attempting to kite surf myself while doing my best to avoid face palming the water. I'll see you again in the new year. Future Squared for the last time in 2016 is out.